That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of That Sounds Fun. I'm your host, Annie F. Downs, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. Before we dive into this conversation, I want to tell you about one of our incredible sponsors. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. But what's something you want to learn? How to play pickleball or learn a new language or maybe crocheting? Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back to school era can come at any age. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's done entirely online, so it's super convenient and flexible to your schedule. And getting started is so easy. You just fill out a quick questionnaire. We love a quiz around here. You'll be matched with a licensed therapist. Plus, you can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. So you make sure to find the right match for you. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/thatsoundsfun today, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thatsoundsfun. Today on the show, it's one of your favorite episodes every month and mine. Our buddy Eddie Kaufholz is back. If you haven't been around for a minute, once a month, we're recapping each of the last 10 years in honor of this being the 10th anniversary of That Sounds Fun. So this month, we're recapping 2021. Did we stick to recapping? Well, no, we just keep talking about some important things. There were some important things we need to talk about, but we definitely got to 2021. You know how this goes. So here's my conversation, recapping 2021 and a lot of other things with my buddy, Eddie Kaufholz.
That sounds fun.
Eddie, welcome to That Sounds Fun. We've already started. We got to jump in. You busted a tooth in college?
I did. Almost no
How?
backstory necessary to why you just asked that question. But I will say, okay, I was in a band, no big deal.
What was it called?
Oh, it was called Red Letter.
Oh, that's great. That's so
Yeah.
good. That's so good.
It was. It was also because we were super into DC Talk at the time, and they did a song called Red Letter. Anyway.
Wait. Slow down. You made this band after a DC Talk song.
No, we were like, okay, we can play cover shows around Gainesville.
Uh-huh.
What are we going to do? What are we going to name ourselves? And we were all really into that Supernatural DC Talk album, what would be their last official studio release. Still love it so much. And one of the songs on it was called Red Letter. Of course, it was about like, there's truth in the red letters. Red letters, if people don't know, it's like the words of Jesus in some versions of the Bible.
Wow.
So we named ourselves Red Letter. Anyway, so we would play, they would give us these shows that were like, play cover songs. And we would play like Dave Matthews and all of your classic early 2000s.
Right.
And we would play from 6 o'clock till 1 a.m.
Brutal.
And so the weekend of the Florida-Miami game, it's just packed. I mean, there's people like right in front of me. And someone...
And what instrument are you playing?
I mean, acoustic guitar.
Yeah, great. And are you the singer? Are you the lead singer?
I'm one of two. So it was me.
Have we talked about this? I feel like maybe we did in relevant days, but I don't think Annie and Eddie have ever talked about Red Letter.
I don't know, Annie. I don't know. I also am like, how did this happen? 10 seconds into the show. So anyhow, to summarize, so we would be playing. So around 11 o'clock, things are getting pretty rowdy because it's just a total college bar.
Yeah.
And
you are playing Christian songs in a college bar.
A little bit of everything.
Bar.
A little bit of everything. A little bit of just cover stuff. A little bit of Third Day. Big Third Day fan over here.
Yeah, certainly. And big Dave. What's his name? Dave Matthews energy. Were y'all doing some Dave Matthews?
Were we?
Yeah.
Were we playing All Along the Watchtower? Dave Matthews' version of a Jimi Hendrix song, of a Bob Dylan song? Yeah, we were. Anyhow, somebody fell into the microphone I was singing into. Because they were just drunk. It was just a drunk college bar, and I won't get too graphic because people did not listen to this show for the graphicness, but I'm telling you, it was a crazy amount of blood, and it was awful. So I just was adjusting the microphone pre-show, and I kind of hit the mic on my mouth, and it just reminded me.
Great. I have more questions. So you're telling me Red Letter, so you get busted in the mouth by a microphone because someone in the front row is raging so hard in the middle of your Third Day song that, wow.
Yeah. They're raging so hard, just to be clear, to the music in their own head at this point in the night, because it's midnight. It's a gigantic football weekend. We were just packed in there. Packed,
Miami versus Florida in the late 90s, early 2000s is a wild game.
Right.
Yeah.
Wild. Both good teams at that time.
Yes, that's right.
Anyhow. And so,
Great
yeah.
teams.
I mean, so, yeah. And it was so fun. Oh, it was so fun. But yeah, we got busted in the mouth. And it was really fun. So we had a percussionist, and then we had 2 acoustic players, and we both sang. Oh, just me and my bros.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. That was great.
Was it? And I need you to hear me so clearly. I am not mocking with this question at all.
Oh,
was it an outreach opportunity? Was it like, hey, we're going to be Christian dudes who play in a band?
No.
In front of our friends who don't believe everything we believe?
No, I wouldn't say it was that overt for us. I think it was just like we knew we had the musical chops probably to sneak in some songs that may not have otherwise been played.
Sure.
And also we just really liked playing music. Now we all learned how to play music in the church. So it was just basically like, well, there's not a real opportunity for us to play, we'll just go with Dave, in the church setting.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd say it kind of was. I mean, we were all Young Life folks. Yeah. There were people there. So we were never far from it.
So your Jesus moved into the neighborhood either way. Like, because you're Young Life guys. So you're already living in the, Jesus moved into the neighborhood vibes.
Right. Yeah. There's no real separating that. It was just like what we did. But also, we're not getting completely, I want to be gentle. We are also still us, even when it's 1:00 on a big raging football weekend.
Yeah,
right.
Got it.
So it's still like we're pretty clean cut boys that are trying to figure out what it means to be 21 years old in a bar playing for 7 hours.
Every friend you had back there knew what your hair looked like, and I have never known what your hair looked like.
That is a crazy statistic.
Right? Like there's an entire group of people who knew what you looked like when you had kid hair. It's
kid hair.
Right?
Yeah, because I'm right on. I mean, I just shaved up this morning. I'm at I'm real short. No, there's not much hair left.
I love that. Bald guys are my favorite. You know this. A bald villain all day long.
Right, and that's what I've always considered myself as the bald villain in this friendship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, and whenever I meet a new guy, I'm always like, I can't pick you or not pick you because you're bald or because you have hair. Everyone has the potential to be a bald villain for me. It's the best.
You all have the potential to be a bald villain.
Yeah, every single guy I meet. So
yeah, no, I never really had cool hair. I did dye my hair a couple times in college. If we want to just talk about uncomfortable,
we do.
Oh yeah, red hair. I think I went dark black.
I did red too.
Yeah,
you did black.
I did black. It wasn't gothy black. I didn't think so. And it was dark. Yeah.
Did you have facial hair in college? Did you have this goatee?
Not as much.
Beard?
I did. I rocked a lot of goatee.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of goatee, a lot of nothing. I was always meant to have facial hair though.
Oh.
I as soon as I started growing in even just a slight beard, it helped things tremendously.
You just liked it so much better.
I don't have much of a chin, and so without this beard, there's not a lot of definition between chin and belly button. It just kind of goes into a straight flop.
Have you ever shaved your face and your daughter's seen you without facial hair?
One time, and it was a resounding no. It wasn't mean.
Same with my dad.
Hard pass. Oh, yeah, okay. So you've seen your dad
clean. We've seen it once, and we're all like, nope, no, sir.
No. This is whether he looks good with it or not is a non-factor.
Yeah, he's just not my dad without it.
You're right. But Annie, I mean, since we're weirdly just talking, I mean, it's all going white, Annie. You could see it. That's
so cool.
I hope so, because I'm not doing anything. I'm not coloring it or anything. No diss to my bros that are doing that.
They brush it in.
Oh yeah.
There's some bros. I respect the guys who want to do that. That's
thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm like, it went from a couple of hairs a few years ago. Yeah.
Is there going to be a red letter reunion?
No.
Never.
But no, I don't think so. I mean, I have not talked to those guys in years, but
what would it take?
I don't know, a re-enrollment in college or something. But I will say,
if we did a live show in Gainesville, is there a chance red letter would open?
That is as close as you've come to a possibility. Here's what I will say. What's even a little bit sadder is that every time I play, like let's say I like playing in my local church, whatever.
Yeah.
That in my mind is a red letter reunion because I'm like, sure, I'll play whatever's written, but in my mind, it's
back up.
Capo 2. Let's hit that E chord and let it fly. See what happens.
EGD. It is so easy to do. That's the listen. I played guitar in college as well because I was also a Christian. So that was
obviously
it was a part of what we did. I've had my guitar forever. And when I moved to Scotland in 2011, manager Jamie, then just my friend, put it in her house for me because we didn't want to put it in a pod because I was worried. Last week, she found it. She was like, do you realize I still have your guitar? And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm about to get my college guitar back, Eddie.
It's not like, I mean, it's a guitar. It's like it's not like it was like buried underneath like old McDonald's wrappers or something, right?
No. It was just in her house somewhere in a closet.
Right. Yeah, I see. It was in her gun safe.
Yeah. Because it's that dangerous when I get to it. It is a weapon of joy.
Shredding hard.
When I start shredding.
Are you going to pick it back up?
I mean, I'm a different person. Much like you were a different person in college, I'm a different person. I did not paint my nails. I bit my nails in college. And so I could play, but Dolly Parton models that it is very possible to play guitar with your nails, with long fingernails. So I will have to relearn because my nails.
Yeah, you got a little.
It's not the little pads like the olden days.
Yeah. How'd you quit biting your nails?
I just decided, I think it was when I started traveling and doing this job full time.
Yeah.
And people look at your hands constantly while you're signing books and meeting people and taking pictures. It just was like, so I try to have my hands look pretty professional all the time because people look at your hands a lot in my job.
No, I understand that. And no, I don't know why I keep feeling this necessity. No shade to people that bite their nails or that don't have nails. It's just what you
we
wanted.
are really circling back a lot today.
But I don't know why I'm doing
aging.
that.
No shade
Nobody
to
thinks
people
there's
with
shade.
hair. No shade to people who bite their nails.
Nobody thinks that we're sitting here holding them in judgment and saying that you and I are some sort of standard.
Yeah, we've never done a shade episode. That's for sure. We've never just let her rip. Oh, that'd be Annie and Eddie, let her rip. That's a paid subscription.
Yeah, I feel like one of us might have more to lose than the other one, and it would be fun to just watch your empire crumble to the ground.
Oh gosh, I haven't even told you this yet. That speaking of DC Talk, I did just interview our first DC Talk member in this very studio where I sit right this minute.
It has to be Toby.
No, Toby still has not come on the show.
It's not Kevin.
No, it is not Kevin Max. Though
Yeah.
I wish. Where is he? That'd be the real get. That's fishing. That's throwing a fishing hook all the way to Franklin, Tennessee, and just finding him because he's not a public guy. It is therefore
Michael
Tate. That's
exactly
right.
That guy has a voice just of the gods.
He's phenomenal, and he is
Sweet.
as nice. Well,
Sweet
you've met
boy,
him.
huh?
You've done relationship with all three of them, haven't you?
No, I've only met Kevin and really had time with Kevin, like had dinner with Kevin, like
That's
really
right.
spent time with him. Talked to him about going to Disney and gave him tips on visiting Orlando. I've never met the other two. Michael is just sweet, huh? Is he still, he's leading Newsboys.
Yeah, that's right. So we had a conversation with him and Adam Agee, who is they're the two lead singers of Newsboys now.
Are they still doing that
very
drum
soon.
thing where the drums lift up and rotate?
I think so.
I saw that at like Rock the Universe probably 25 years ago.
Yeah, I could have asked. I'm sorry, I didn't know to ask that.
Huge miss.
It's getting ready to come out. The episodes are getting ready. Huge miss, certainly.
He is.
I'll tell you the Michael Tate story. We are getting on an airplane in, I can't tell you where, Dallas, LA, Phoenix. I don't remember. I can tell you what the gate looked like because I remember where. But it was a Southwest flight because we were lined up right next to each other. So I said, hey, I'm Annie He said, I know who you are. I've been wanting to be on your pod. And just, we share all the, he just jumped right in and did not have to at all. Did not have to at all. Could have been like, nice to meet you. And instead was just so gregariously kind that I was like, loyal for life.
I have another theory. First of all, that's got to feel good. That
it's just so kind when everybody's kind, you know?
Of course.
When you think somebody's super famous and they're actually nice. Well, he is super famous. And
He is
nice.
super famous and also very nice. Yes.
Yes.
Listen, I have a theory with him, and this is another question that if there's a follow-up interview,
Okay.
I don't think anybody on this planet Earth has not seen him looking 100%. I think he's like Dolly Parton in that Dolly
gosh, you're
does not
right.
leave her bedroom. I don't even think Dolly's husband sees her. Like, I don't think Michael Tate leaves his bedroom without being perfect. Now, he's not
Without being 100,
overly,
yep.
but he's always looking proper. His fit is right. His hair
You're
is
right.
right. I don't think there's a picture of him anywhere taking out the trash in a bathrobe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right.
If somebody lived close to my house, they would see all shades of me inside of a 24-hour period.
Oh, if someone lived one door down from me in New York, they would see 15 Annies over a course of 3 days.
What would be the worst one? What's the absolute one that you would die?
The one I would die over is like, oh, I've got to take this trash out right now. And
Yes.
yeah. I will tell the story.
Yes.
I did meet up with a female friend for coffee
Okay.
on our day off. Both of us. On my day off of having a face, meaning I didn't have to do anything on socials.
Right,
It was a
didn't have all the
writing
stuff
day,
on.
just
Yeah.
putting your head down and writing.
Yeah.
She had her day off. When she showed up, she looked nice, and I was like, huh. And then I clocked it. Is all I did. I clocked it.
You just knew.
I clocked it.
You weren't sheeple.
Yes, that's it. Right. We weren't sheeple. And then a friend of hers that is a male that I have not met that is in our community
No.
shows up.
Great.
Great. Dying to make new friends. I love meeting new people. He's super kind. I would have brushed my hair. I just would have brushed my hair. I would have done one thing. And I did none things.
Now,
did none things.
let me jump past the like inferences here. You would have just done it because it's another person or because it's like, oh, it's a boy.
Both. I mean, it's
Okay.
an unmarried man in our community, though we're not trying to date each other. We're just
Right.
met. But
Yeah.
I would have, had I known that a person in our community that is in my friend group tangentially was also coming versus my friend that I've had for a really long time that like, who cares? We're just walking to the local coffee
Right.
spot.
Right.
I would have thought differently.
Yeah, you would have brushed a little bit, maybe thrown on
It's
a little
one
this
thing
or
if
that.
you just bump into someone on the street. That's on everybody.
Right.
That's on me. That's on me.
We
and-
know what the deal is. You're walking the
Yeah.
dog.
I'm in public. I understand.
Right.
I'm in public. But I'm not intending to see someone that might possibly know me. And
don't
that I
wanna
might
throw-
possibly know.
I don't want to throw shade on the lady friend, but did she not tell you he was going to be around?
Well, I'm not sure she thought it would be quite the overlap that it was
I see.
because it was her back-to-back hangs.
I understand.
And so there was always a world where we were done in 8 minutes and I'm gone. And then she sits there for 20 or 30 or whatever, right? So she didn't have to run down her social calendar with me. We just ended up talking. He ended up showing up early. And then we hung and had a great time and are friends. He's super nice. I mean, I'll probably send both of them this episode. I mean, he's super nice.
Yeah.
It just was, I'd have made some different choices, but I
Right.
also, that was one of the 15 Annies that you're possible to run into. So
Yeah. And he just wasn't inner sanctum. I get that. Yeah.
yes, that's it, Eddie. That's exactly it. That is a great way to say it. I was inner sanctum version of Annie,
Right.
meeting someone who will probably move into a close friendship, but has not.
Yeah. It's when people come over to our
100%.
house, we have Amy, Chris,
Yes.
Emily come over every Sunday night. And early on, I realized like they're fine with me no matter what.
Yeah.
But I've been trimming the fig tree and out back and mowing the yard and stuff. And I'm wearing gym shorts with a little paint, right? And an old Gator shirt
Yeah,
from
yeah.
donating blood 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe like I just change it up a little bit because even though they know the depths of our family, maybe we just toss on a collar. Would it kill you?
Maybe blue instead of black, as you're doing today.
Wild, yeah. You and I went switchy.
We switched hard. I'm in dark mode, and you're in light
straight
mode.
You are in straight Halloween,
I
Agatha.
am nails, lipstick, everything. I know.
You are witchy. I'm
I
sorry.
know,
I
I
know you're
didn't
not a
mean to
witch,
be.
but
I
it is
know,
totally
I'm not.
Halloween-y.
I know. Inner sanctum. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
That's the people. Yeah.
Is I
And
was having an inner sanctum meeting and a visitor arrived.
Oh yeah, and let's just
Yeah.
say this: you and I, well, we're not intersanctum with each other. I've never seen you. I think we're.
Yeah, we've never
intersanct-
done a trip with your family.
No, I think we'd be -1 or 2 the whole time. Somebody would have to break the ice, and it would not.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
That's
no.
a great point. I'm thinking through. I'm like, have we ever been in a place? No, because even when you showed up on tour, I was ready.
No, it was go time. Even when I showed up at the Ryman, which of course you were ready to go, you were so ready that I thought you were already dressed in what you were going to be wearing during the show. That was just
Right.
that was your rehearsal outfit.
Yeah, that was the yes, that's right. That's right.
That was a whole
the
special
meet and
rehearsal
greet
thing.
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, even when I thought you weren't dressed up, you were ready to go.
That's right. That's really interesting. For all the things we know about each other, we
Yeah,
are not
no.
inner sanctum.
No, and it's fine.
Wow.
And
And it's fine. That's exactly right. It's mostly fine because the opportunity has not arisen to decide
Right.
how do we appear at 7 a.m. in the morning if I'm staying at your house.
But if you do ever stay at the house, you're just gonna need to know, like, coffee will be ready. I'll be down there sipping it. I will take the dog out at 6:30, and it's gonna be gym shorts and a t-shirt. And
I'm not going to put on makeup when I come out of my room. I'm going to come sit and I'm probably until we are doing something for lunch that day, the
Right.
whole morning where we're just hanging with the girls and we're
No.
all just sitting around and maybe going on a walk in y'all's neighborhood. That's all inner sanctum Annie.
No, it's all
Yeah.
inner sanctum.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Now I'm
Okay.
putting all of my friends in the categories in my mind. I'm like, not inner sanctum, not inner sanctum, inner sanctum.
Right. And yeah, your
And
friend.
New York is so different because you walk around no one stays in their apartment all day. So you're going to get out
Yes.
and leave in inner sanctum mode thinking you'll run into no one.
Yes.
And I don't know that I do that here.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
Fascinating.
Okay, so here's the thing about being married, though, that's interesting that I never realized, that I didn't come to until the last couple of years. Even though that person is inner sanctum, right?
Yes,
Brian has seen
certainly,
me
if I
at my
understand.
worst. I still maybe don't lean on that inner sanctum all the time. Throw out some of the gym shorts that are pretty rough,
Sure,
and maybe
sure.
just go ahead and spend some of that income on a new set of gym shorts that aren't so disgusting.
Yeah.
You could look like crap all day, and she's still going to love you.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe. Now, of course, Brian would never say any of that, ever. But you just
Certainly.
started to think, I'm like, am I phoning it in? Am I? Why am I
There's a
put-
level of trying that remains no matter what because of who
Right.
you want to be, not
Right.
because of what your partner is requiring of you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
I think
so
our work here is
so
done.
in the end, are we only inner sanctum with ourselves?
Jeez. I don't know, man.
I mean, are we only fully 24/7 and inner sanctuming with our actual selves?
Yeah, like your hotel outfit where no one's coming in.
Uh-huh.
No one's coming in that front door.
Yeah.
What am I
Which, as you'll
really-
recall, for our unmarried friends, that is my whole life, right? No one's coming in my house door. So I can wear, if I am sick and I don't change for 2.5 days, my
Right.
clothes, I would, hopefully. But
But
that's
probably
inner
not.
sanctum that even if I had a roommate, you're different.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
This
is
is
funny.
fascinating.
This is funny.
That sounds fun.
Hey friends, just interrupting this conversation to tell you about one of our incredible partners, Nurture Life. Okay, parents, we always love to share about meal services that make your life easier, but now here's one that makes your life easier and it's for your kids. Nurture Life is a meal delivery service focused on helping busy parents easily feed my mini BFFs from 10 months old to 10 years old. And my nephew, Sammy, has given a lot of thumbs up approval to Nurture Life. He is a huge fan. Here's what's great. They're getting a nutritionally balanced meal while still getting to include a lot of favorites like mac and cheese, spaghetti and meatballs, and much more. Nurture Life's meals are made fresh every week. They're never frozen, and they're shipped directly to your door. And it's even allergy friendly too. It's about time that a flexible meal subscription existed for babies and kids. So head to nurturelife.com. Use the code TSF, like that sounds fun, for 55% off your first order. Sam verified. He loves it. That's right, 55% off. Once again, that's nurturelife.com for 55% off. Make sure you use our promo code TSF so they know that we sent you. Okay, now back to our conversation with Eddie.
That sounds fun.
Have you gotten your SNL tickets in the mail yet?
No, have you?
No. Will you please explain to everyone what we're talking about?
Every year, well, first of all, Annie and I love SNL, and we're going to talk about it. Every single year, there is a lottery that happens for about a week where you have the opportunity to basically put your name in a lottery for SNL tickets. You cannot request dress rehearsal or air. You cannot request a date. You literally just get an envelope that has SNL tickets in it, and you show up in New York
And they give you
at
the
the
date.
studio.
Here's what we've given you. You get
Here you go.
dress rehearsal on February 12th, or you get
Yes.
the real show on October 5th. Who can
Yeah,
know?
thanks for picking my birthday. That's nice.
On purpose.
Thank you. So Annie and I, of course, everybody, we applied.
course
I
we
have
did.
not gotten tickets.
I have not either.
Neither is AFD, but
I'm
boy,
not
would I
even
love
sure
to.
did we put our mailing address in that email?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
I guess so. Okay, then I need to go check and see which one I put in. So I'm making sure I'm checking the right.
Although in fairness, it might be
address.
digital at this point. It might be digital.
I mean,
don't think
it
it is.
for all of everyone listening. If you want to do it, you've sadly missed your chance for this year because it's August 1 to August 31. But
Yep.
that's true every year.
Yeah.
And you send an email to an email address and tell them why you want to go. It's not even a form you fill out. It's an email address.
It's an email to
Why
like
you wanna
SNL
go.
tickets or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild, but I have not gotten them in the mail.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to go back and look and see what email address it is. I'm making a note of that.
I think I've been doing it for 17 years. It's going to happen.
Because
It's
you
gonna
also
happen.
can't transfer them, right?
Oh no. Yeah. All you can do is not accept them, and they figure it out.
So here's my problem. How
Yeah.
are we going to get the tickets to you and Brienne if I win? Because that was my hope, was to give you and Brienne my tickets.
Well-
but if it has to show my face, I wonder if they'll let me walk in with y'all. And because after that first moment,
Yeah.
they don't check you again, right? They
Yeah.
don't check you again after you show your ID one time and that's it. So I'm curious if they'll let me... Because if they just mail us paper tickets, it actually shouldn't
No.
be connected to me after that moment.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance in the world that works, though the heart behind it is very sweet. But here's my vote for you. I say put your face on, call that boy that showed up a little too early to the party and say, hey, fella, we're going to SNL. You and me. Let me show you what's possible with my lotion when I put on lotions and potions.
Listen. I've got a good friend group in New York,
Yeah.
and he is one of the people I'd consider going. There are closer friends that I would probably ask first for this level of experience.
Right. I would say, and again, since
Unless
I know
things
enough,
get wild between now and February 12th, can't know.
no, since I know nothing about this man, I
Yeah,
can
you're doing
literally
great.
just speak freely.
Yeah, you are.
You don't get SNL as a first date is not a possibility. That's literally too
Interesting
much.
statement.
It's too much. You've got to love a person. You've got to love the
You
person
got
you
to
take.
love a person you take to SNL.
Whatever that love looks like, right? It could be, I feel like the way you talk about like Jenna Claire or somebody like somebody
yes,
you love.
Yes. You and Bree. That's
Right,
what I'm saying.
right,
Is I was
right,
like,
I know.
I'm gonna give them straight to Bree and Eddie if we can all get there and me pass them off. That's my plan. You have to take someone you love to SNL. Also, I want people to know that if there was that, have I called you or texted you about a single man in New York City?
No.
No. So there is not. You would know, and we would not be making jokes
no.
about it.
Oh, no,
Yes.
no. I am so careful not to even come close to damaging
yeah,
that world for
to
you.
let you to inner sanctum talk. That's not.
No.
Yeah. So I think it's fascinating that you are making a public statement that if I get these tickets and you and Bree can't go, and I do take someone, you're telling everyone who listens to the show that I love them.
That's right. And I think that you owe that to the process. I think you owe that to those
That's a
of us that have
decision
been
I
waiting
have
for
to make
20
in
years.
the inviting. Yeah, wow.
Love them. I'm not saying in love, but I'm also saying not the possibility of love. Like I'm saying,
Oh, this isn't a I hope we fall in love, so I'm going to bring him now. No.
No,
there
no,
has
no,
to
no.
be, does there have to be communicated love or just feelings of love?
that's a hard one.
If I'm in love with him And I know he's in love with me, and we just haven't said it because we've only been dating for 3 months by the time February comes around. Or
I'm out of my
if we
depth
get
with
tickets
that one.
in May and we had fallen in love the week before.
You know what I would do? I would cross-reference that and make a game time decision with some people that know you. Right? Because I would leave that to a council of people.
Gosh. Okay.
Like, no,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Annie. You've fallen in love a little early. You would need another 6 months.
He does not get to go to SNL.
No. Or,
Okay.
hey, you know what? I actually think you guys, something's happening here. And it's understandable you love him. It's like, maybe you haven't expressed that yet, but I think this might be worth it. I don't know that a person could make that decision.
This is going to get interesting if we get
I
these
think you
tickets.
just make it easy and just take one of your, like, just a total inner sanctum.
Jenna Claire. Yeah.
Jenna Claire.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think about it. And
This
you just
is
have
Jenna
a
Claire's
night of all
official
nights.
invitation to go with me.
Right. Jenna Claire would be it.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Okay. Well, I'm still hoping to pass them off to you and Bree. That's what I'm going to try to do. Me and all 4 of us are going to walk in, and Jenna Claire is going to wait to the side, and I'm going to beg that first. What are they called? Page. I'm going to beg that first page.
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
Can I? I am here. I am right here.
I've got Jenna Claire. Have you heard of Wicked? She's right there.
Here she is. She will sing Popular for you right now, if you will let Eddie and Bree have these tickets and go. And the page will say, I can't make this decision. This is above my pay grade. Let me get someone.
I have an iPad here. I'm just supposed to check
I have
people
an
in.
iPad. This thing is sold out. Here's the problem. It's not going to be a bad year. It's the 50th year. Every show is going to have massive guests.
Huge.
So on a down year, there'd have been a better chance of us finagling. This is not going to be that. This is going to be a treasured ticket. My first one is a treasured ticket. It's going to be a treasured ticket.
This is going to be a special year. Jean Smart with opening the first episode. Do you know who she is?
Nate Bargatze. Jean Smart, yes.
I didn't know. You've watched Hacks and Designing Women and stuff?
Designing Women, yes. I've not watched Hacks yet, but I've certainly watched Designing Women.
Yeah. She's great.
Jean Smart, Nate Bargatze. I mean, get out of here, bro.
New dad again. John
Mulaney.
John Mulaney, yeah.
Fascinating story.
Yeah.
The new dadness of him.
Yes. They're a surrogate because she was in the middle of like a cancer battle.
Cancer, yes.
What's her name though? It's such a pretty name.
Olivia Munn.
No, yes, but the baby has
the baby.
such a pretty name.
It is something nice.
It means plum, I think. It's like it's M. It's like May.
M-E-I, May. Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Such a
That's
pretty.
what we call our friend Meredith in New York, who used to live in China. We call her May.
I think May is such a nice name.
It's very sweet.
Okay, so we've walked through some really important topics. My old
I do
cover
have one
band,
more that
SNL.
is not 2021. Do you have anything on your list?
I mean, kind of, but also it's like
good.
I have evergreen stuff that will just bump to whenever.
Okay.
Random things. Tell me what else is on your list.
I had the best experience in Los Angeles this weekend that you're
all
going to
to
love.
me.
One of my best friends for like a decade is named Adam. We have been like brother and sister forever. We when
Great.
I moved back from Scotland, he moved back from London. We both moved in with our friends, Heather and Luke, for a season because we didn't have anywhere to live. I mean, we've been like family forever. He lives in LA. He's a filmmaker. He's amazing.
Love him.
So we're going to dinner on my last night in LA.
Okay.
And he is like, I've already got this planned out. I'm like, tell me everything. He says, we're going to go back to my neighborhood. He lives in Melrose. Show me around his neighborhood. He said, and then we're going to go eat Mexican food, which makes me very happy. And then we're going to a movie theater and we're watching a black and white Western.
Whoa.
And I thought, what? This is perfect. I love Westerns so much. Westerns are my favorite besides the Meg. Westerns are my favorite genre.
Oh.
And it's one I'd never seen from 1932 called Law and Order.
Wow.
I mean, when's the last time you watched a movie made in 1932?
And on a big screen. I mean, that's cool.
And I'm so mad I'm not remembering. Roger Ebert. No, that's not who it is. There's the movie guy who used to be on Entertainment Tonight.
Leonard Maltin.
Introduced the movie.
Shut it.
In the front of the room. It was a two movie night at the theater, and they were both movies he had chosen. And so we didn't go to the first one. We just went to the second one. But as they start, so all these people that were in the theater were in there for both of them. A lot of people came to the first one and left, and some of us came for the second. But there was a chunk of them that just had like saved their seat and left their coat. And then Leonard Maltin introduces the thing and explains why this is one of his favorite Westerns.
That's what I want to know. That's what happens.
Awesome. It was awesome.
Oh, great
It was
night.
the coolest. It was the coolest experience. And the movie, it's just wild. You haven't watched a movie that's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
That like the technology back there was just so different.
Yeah.
And the storyline is really devastating, and they are these peacemakers are going from city to city, and they've decided to go to Tombstone to help clean up Tombstone because it's such like a wild town in the Wild West.
Yeah.
And you're watching, you're like, man, all these people who are in this movie, filmed in 1932, that are grown-ups, like their parents were alive in the 1880s during the Civil War. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like they're not that's like us making a movies about the 1970s. Like it's very easy to know what is real and what isn't real because it just happened, quote, quote, right?
Yeah. How did it look?
Awesome.
How was, I mean, big screen, like, do you know if it was a film print or digital? Like, how'd they do it?
This theater only does film prints. So
oh my
ran
gosh.
the film.
A film
it
print
was awesome.
of Law and Order. That's a great one.
That is great.
That is like a city, like an LA thing that I just, like, they just fully get the movie experience. Clearly, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. I mean, the guy who introduced Leonard Maltin was like, just a reminder, I know you guys know because a lot of you are regulars, don't talk at all from now on. Don't talk at all. Don't get your phone out. There's no phones. Make sure your phone is actually off. If we see your phone, we're going to ask you to leave immediately. I mean, just like the honor that this film needed to receive from all of us was like, do not speak again.
Right. It wasn't like a graphic of like a roller coaster and popcorn popping that they're like, trying to turn off your phones. It was like, we know how this is supposed to work. But
they did do old previews, and they did that Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola. They did that commercial at this top. I mean, and the movie was great. It was just wild to watch like the clips, how they clipped the movie together and how jumpy it was. And when they made Tombstone look like a wild city, people were throwing pieces of paper in front of the camera and there were fires in the street. And it was wild.
It was just... And that movie was like, it blew people's minds, I'm sure. When they saw it, they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
Yeah. And it was devastating. The storyline's devastating, how it ends up, who ends up losing their lives and in gunfights. And I said to Adam afterwards, I was like, I would love to see someone remake it just as it is. I just feel like modern day people would be moved by that story if that movie got remade.
Feels like it's up for remake, right? I mean, everything else gets remade. That would be, no one would even know it was remade. It would just be an awesome
I knew you were going to love that experience. I knew you were going to love that. It was just the best. It was so cool.
And cool for Adam. I like that. Just
such a good friend.
Had a
Friends
thing planned.
Know you. Yeah.
Was the Mexican place cool?
Yeah, it was great. It was delicious. Great. I had buffalo tacos. How about that?
Like buffalo chicken kind of situation?
Nope. Actual buffalo. Ground buffalo.
Oh, I bet it's really good, huh?
It was so good. Yeah, it's like a nicer beef. Buffalo. Nicer beef.
Is there a difference between buffalo and bison, or are they the same? I think they're the same thing, aren't they? No one could know.
Absolutely no one can know.
Science,
Anyone who answers us on Instagram, they don't actually know.
Depths of the ocean, far reaches of space, and the difference between a buffalo and a bison.
Bison and buffalo. Or if there is a difference, no one can know.
No one could know.
Can't be
Same
known.
thing.
They're unknowable. Absolutely unknowable.
That sounds fun.
And now back to finish up our conversation with Eddie.
That sounds fun.
Okay, Eddie, I do have one more thing. I'm sorry. We haven't even talked about 2021. Shocking.
No.
Absolutely no
Let's
one.
go. Let's go.
I saw an actual real deal celebrity in New York last week.
Ooh. Do you want to just tell me? Do you want to play 20 questions? Just tell me.
Oh, you want to play 20 questions?
Yes.
Okay. It's a male Oh, that's not how 20 questions work. You asked me.
No, that's just 20 statements, but it's
sorry.
fine. So it's a male. Mm-hmm. You were about to say pop star?
Nope.
Okay. Podcaster, film?
Yes.
Podcaster?
Yep.
Ooh, we're like narrowed down almost a male podcaster that you would care about. Ira Glass, Dax Shepard.
Nope. You warmed up between Ira Glass to Dax Shepard. You got warmer.
Ooh, one of the Smartless guys?
Yes.
Did you see Sean or?
I did. I saw
How
Sean
did it
Hayes. He
go?
lives in my neighborhood.
Start now. What
I
did
could
you?
not
Is
believe
he
it.
just lovely? I mean, what'd you do?
Let him be, because he was just in his neighborhood.
And that's a New York thing.
May and I were eating crispy rice, spicy tuna outside of our favorite sushi restaurant on our street.
Heck of an order.
And he just walks right by to buy pizza. And he
Precious.
walks into, and he's just walking, and no one's bugging him.
Yeah.
Just walking,
Yeah.
grabbed 5 pizzas
Right.
in the box, turned around and walked out and walked back home.
Oh,
and I
that
thought,
makes me
I
happy.
saw Sean Hayes. I want to be like, you're everyone's favorite everything, dear Sean Hayes. We love
He's
you
the
so
best.
much.
Annie, that's a great one.
I know. I mean, I really haven't seen celebrities in New York, and I didn't see any when I was in LA. And
That's a great one, Annie.
I mean, literally that day, I wrote a note on a sticky note that says, Eddie, I saw Sean Hayes.
That's
And I've just moved it in my planner every day until the day we actually recorded, so I didn't lose it.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
I know. I just wanted you to know that. And then we
That
can
was
look at your
amazing.
list if you have important things to hit, and then we can talk about for a smidge about 2021.
We should do a little 2021. I mean, that was quite a
Yeah.
year.
It was a great year.
Yes.
It was quite a year. Is that the year y'all moved?
Okay, I texted Brienne because I have no recollection between everything from 2020 to 2023 is a mushy single moment. Okay,
Oh, interesting.
this was the year that Brienne graduated law school. Go Brienne. We sold 2 houses, so that was the year that we wrapped up Annie and Eddie that summer. So it's
Yeah.
all that summer. So
Yep.
sold our house in Orlando and the house in Gainesville, sold it, moved to DC. Brienne passed the bar. And then we found out we loved Tillamook ice cream.
Oh,
So
yeah. Good
That was
year.
it. That was, have you had Tillamook ice cream?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. 2021 was nuts.
Yeah. That's for us, that has been the best year of my career ever.
2021. I mean,
Yeah.
give
we
me
hit New York Times. That sounds fun. Hit New York Times.
That was nuts.
It was nuts. So that was unbelievable. Checked it off. Done. And we did our first headlining tour of That Sounds Fun. And so we did 12 cities that summer. Is that the one you were on? No, you were on the next one. You were on the one that fall.
I think that feels right.
No, was it winter? It was February of 22. Because we did February of 22 and then
Yeah.
something like that.
Because I'm more of a winter just in terms of color.
And we were not today, but yes.
No,
we
no.
were in Baltimore. So I think that was for sure the second tour.
Mm-hmm.
So that first tour that summer, we did half a year of Annie and Eddie. That was so fun. I mean, it was just like we took all these people to Dollywood that year. I mean, we just kind of had like the most fun year I'm not sure it's the year we had the most impact, but it is the year we had a lot of fun.
That is a good one. Yeah, I forget. I'm looking at, okay, so of course, Lillian the Best does all of this, like
Yes.
guest-wise.
Yeah.
Harry Connick Jr., Matthew McConaughey.
Jennifer Garner. I mean, that was
Jennifer
the
Garner.
year.
That
Yeah,
was
of
nuts.
it was nuts. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, and also now
right.
on Broadway. She's going to be on Broadway.
That's awesome.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun year for the podcast and for work. Like, we loved it. My first kids book released that year, so that just felt like. Hey, here's what can I tell you what I learned that year?
Yeah,
Well, what I've learned subsequently from that year.
Yeah.
Is that you often think every year is building on the next, or is being built on the one behind it. Right? Does that make sense? Like you
Yes,
think, oh
yes,
man,
yeah.
if this 2021, then 2022, and then 2023. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead, companies look like a roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
ebbs and flows. And I mean, in 2022 is when my nephew died. And we just had, I'm writing this new book, and I have spent almost an
didn't know that.
entire chapter talking about the amount of death I experienced in 2022.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it has been horrible to write, And so 2021, I thought this was my new life, and it was actually just one of the best years in a group of years that cycle and change and move and adjust,
Funny. That is a complete difference between us that I respect that. I wish I had that. Do you have
About that year.
Do you have that about in life too? Like every year, like, are you fairly optimistic, I guess?
Well, I kind of fell into a relationship that summer that was like dreamy and awesome, and you remember, and so that plays into it for sure. That somebody was really important to me that summer and that fall. But no, so I don't have, when I look back on my life, I don't have years like that. But I do for my career. When I go like, man, 2018 was a game changer for us. 2021 was a game changer for us. We each have a couple that are like pretty strategically, like the God used a couple of years to move things pretty significantly.
Yeah, you do work in an interesting industry though. Like the media landscape is just ever evolving. Like the only constant is that it's not constant. Like, Jimmy Fallon just went to recording Monday through Thursday, releasing live shows only Monday through Thursday.
Really?
They all do already.
I missed that.
Jim Kimmel does it. Every single late night show only does does fresh shows Monday through Thursday. Friday's a rerun because nobody watches Friday.
Wow.
And Fallon used to record 2 on Thursday, and they just made the announcement that because there's just not enough viewership. And so this deeply like late night is like such a thing.
Like
and
this
like the
cultural
Tonight Show.
Mammoth of the Tonight Show is also suffering.
And so I say that only just because it's just such a the landscape is changing so rapidly for you from what I've heard. Like it's
that's right.
So 2021 was a real high point.
Oh, I mean, if I could go back and tell her to drink it up, girl, drink it up. Like, this isn't how it always is. Because at the time I just thought like, welcome to the future.
I know. I do.
This is us forever. And it has not been. I mean, I also haven't released a book like that. We've released kids' books and devotionals, but we haven't released another book like that until 26. It will be when this one comes out that I'm working on now, right? The beginning of 26.
How do you feel about
that? Man, it is such a good book. I am like dying for people to read. I can't wait. I want to be working on it all the time right now. It finally is coming out, and I think it's great. Yeah.
So, but that's how writing is. We don't have to get into it, but like, is that how it kind of like the book writing process? It's written when it's time to be written.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it's not like, oh, I got to do this and.
No, I mean, I knew a deadline was coming, so I've been working on it all year, but it took 8 months of this year before the book started coming out of me.
Yes.
But now it's like a fountain that is on all the time, thanks be to our actual Lord and Savior, because it was not coming out.
Annie,
I turn it in by the end of this year, and then my editor at the publisher gets to working on it, and then by end of spring, early summer, it's at the printer overseas, and it's time to roll,
Annie.
So it's really coming soon, actually. I know February of 26 feels like a long way away. It's absolutely not. It's absolutely not.
The whole thing ramps up. I can't wait. I'm glad it has been that experience for you. Because that means there was something to say. There was a reason. This was the right timing.
That's right. And when I explain it to people, like I saw some friends last night, they were like, okay, tell it. Some friends were here from London. And they were like, okay, tell us the book. And they were both like, that's good. I was like, yeah. So
I can only relate it to when Red Letter would play Burlap to Cashmere.
Exactly the same feeling. Exactly the same feeling.
Do you remember Burlap to
question.
Cashmere?
Yes. Are you kidding?
They were the best.
Did y'all play any 10 shekel shirt?
I don't think so.
Too bad. That's the same genre for me. That's the same genre
10 shekels shirt. I didn't want to make it about me. I just needed it.
No, I need. And I think it's really interesting for people to know that what you said, like for that window of time for y'all, that was really blurry and hard for your family.
It was 2021 and 2. I would say were the best simultaneously of my life, probably the best and worst year of my life at the same time. Like I am, and we just don't, I don't get into all of it, but it was just like a very, very, it was opposite ends. I think there were so many nights when I was just like feeling like, I'll just take a I'll tell you, let's take a middle ground day. I'll just take a normal nothing day.
Yeah.
But
That's how I am. I mean, when I think about 2022, I'm like,
right.
I
know.
Tell me a number of a check I can write to never experience a year like that again, and I will do whatever I can. I would sell things.
The loss of a child, though, is not on par with anything on earth. Like that is the worst. Yeah, that is the worst.
Well, thank you. And
that is, it's just not natural. Like it's against everything, and it's just anyway. We don't have to get into all of it.
I mean, this is no suffering Olympics between the two of us, but yours life was not.
Oh,
easy
it's all
in that season. Yeah, it's all terrible. It's all terrible. And you know what was awful is that for the 6 months before everything started happening with my family, I was suffering in sadness from a relationship not working.
Right.
So like I mean, it was a whole year. It was the whole year.
I would also like to say that I was reading off a list that Brienne helped create, and I love her. Here's the other two things that she put on the list.
Oh, good. The Tillamook was a dream.
Tillamook was it was all a single train of thought.
Yeah,
and it was
what was the other two things?
It was Annie sent us Tenzi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. And she sent a picture, which I will then now send you the picture of all of us playing Tenzi. And she got her colors done.
Oh, yeah.
I think by the same lady that you did.
Yes. And do you know what I thought Brie was going to put on the list? Is that's the year I stole a book from Lucy's library.
We do not talk about that. I am telling you, Lucy, it is, not good.
She has chosen to forgive, but it has not been easy for her.
It was a real lesson in growth for her.
I know.
I thought she said, I thought she understood that it was a library. And you can't tell her at that point, I thought you understood it was a child's book drawn in pencil. But I hear you.
Yeah.
Annie, you've more than made up for it. Oh my gosh.
I don't know about that, but I did send y'all Tenzi.
Yes, you did.
Edward, is there anything on your list we need to make sure we hit today?
Oh, gracious. Well, I did think it is worth noting, and I'm going to, I have to be good on time because I have another thing. I have like a job thing.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted people to know that I have done stand-up multiple times in the last couple of months. I've gone up, I think, 5 or 6 times.
What?
And Annie,
Eddie, how's it going?
I'm going to tell you honestly, and I know that you know that I have a tendency to put kind of a like, Eeyore on things.
Yeah, for sure you do. So I can't wait to hear where this is.
I'm going to tell you very honestly that the degree to which I have bombed every single time cannot be overstated.
Good
job. It is fantastic.
Well done.
It is wonderful. I love it. I just love it. Stand-up is so hard. It is.
I can't fathom.
Right? Because you walk in, let's talk about the Ryman and the juxtaposition, because I did stand-up that week, and I'm telling you, nothing worked. I tried. I was writing jokes. I took jokes that I thought would work before. I redid them.
Yep.
Nothing worked.
Yeah.
Right? People were fine. I got chuckles, right? But it was nothing. The best laughs I got at the whole time was when I just didn't want to go into the material that I had written and just started ripping on this bar that I was in because I thought it was so foolishly decorated. Yeah. That worked for a second.
Got it.
Juxtapose that to walking on stage at the Ryman. And
warm crowd.
People literally, anybody in there would take me to SNL. Like this was
right. They love you. That's right.
Close, and I felt that, right? And you felt that. Like you can. There's nothing. So telling that Uber story at Ryman,
killed.
Right, no problem. Had I even attempted that,
have you told that story on stage yet as a stand-up?
Oh no. I will.
I think you might.
I might.
That one's really strong.
But the moral of this is, stand-up comedy is a real art form.
And you keep doing it. That is so impressive.
I love it. Yeah, it doesn't bother me that I bomb. It's more just like I finish and I'm like, I really know that I'm funny.
Yeah.
And have
Leanne Morgan is on the podcast this week. So it's 2 comedians this week on That Sounds Fun.
But it's part of it.
Back-to-back comedians.
But you do realize that the people that get up there and are effortless, like when I now watch Nate Bargatze, I'm like, that is like Picasso. You can. It's so I thought you should know that.
I really want to see you do stand up. That's when I'm going to come stay at y'all's house, enter Sanctum, and go watch you do a stand-up set. Has your wife gone yet? Have like any of the girls
Yes.
gone?
Oh, no kids. It's open mic stand-up. Everybody
Okay.
before and after me is...
Different content.
It is a lot of adults there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of adults. I am not that kind of adult. I'm talking about wearing husky jeans as a kid and
Oh, great.
all that.
I love
so
it.
I thought
love it.
that was
That's
what was on my
so
list. I felt like
good.
that's a thing you'd want to know. So
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. I'm so proud of you.
It is
That's
so fun.
incredible.
It
I
is
would
so
love
fun to do
hear
something.
You do it. Yeah.
Annie, you got to. Well, you do actually, because you write.
But I get warm audiences, and they're there to hear a sermon, and when I make them laugh, it surprises them, and it's a win. And so I do not do stand up.
Walking into something where no one has any context for you,
Yeah.
and then you can't. The charm doesn't work. You can't click it.
Yeah.
What you've learned on podcasting doesn't work. It's like it is
Brand new
very
muscle.
brand new muscle. So
That's awesome. Well done. Okay, you have something to go to. Sorry that we
do.
went over time.
you don't need to be sorry. I'm sorry I got all confused about East Coast. People should know that about every single time we podcast, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. You're like, and once again,
Or 55 minutes early.
once again, take your time and subtract one, and that's my time. So.
You did great, buddy.
Oh, thanks, pal.
All right, 2021. Glad to talk about it. Glad to talk to you.
2022 next month, huh? Okay.
That's right. All right, wash your hands, friends.
No. Bye, buddies.
Oh, you guys, isn't he the best? Eddie Kaufholz, cannot beat him. And listen, what I would give, do you know anyone who works at SNL that will give Eddie and Bree tickets? Like, do any of you know someone who can help us get Eddie and his wife into SNL for the 50th year? Like, let's make it happen. I'm going to do my best. If you can make this happen, join with me. And if you know the difference between a buffalo and a bison, it's impossible to know. But if you do, it's impossible to know. As always, just head over to social media, tell Eddie thank you for being on the show, and help us know what we do not know that might also be impossible to know. And if you haven't listened to the other recap episodes with Eddie from this year, we have a whole Spotify playlist for you over in the show notes. Very, very bingeable. If you have any questions from this episode, you can drop them in the Q&A box on your Spotify app if you're a Spotify listener like me, or send them to us on Instagram at That Sounds Fun Podcast. Make sure you're following there for lots of fun things, and we try to answer your questions there. All right, if you need anything else from me, you know I'm embarrassingly easy to find. Annie F. Downs on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you need me, that's how you can find me. And I think that's it for me today, friends. Go out or stay home. Do something that sounds fun to you, and I will do the same. Today, what sounds fun to me is getting ready to go to a big high school football game tomorrow. Let's go, Franklin. It's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait to cheer on some of my friends that are playing and sit with some of my friends at the stand. So I love some high school football. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday with America's favorite government teacher, Sharon McMahon.
That sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Check 1, 2 on the microphone. Annie F. Downs in your car to your home. Every week it's something new. A deep talk or an interview. She'll make you laugh, she'll make you cry. When it's dark out, she's a light. When you're down, get you feeling right. Oh man, that sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Oh.